Come and see. Come and see. 3 little words. I know that we're always told that the 3 little words that matter most are I love you, but come and see are pretty important as well. Like I told the children, this is pure invitation, right? There's no value set on this invitation. It's neither a positive thing nor a negative thing. It's just an invitation. Come and see. Come and see. But it is relational, right? It's built upon a relationship that the host is going to accompany you. Come and see means whoever it is who's extending the invitation is going to be there, right? You're not going to be alone. It's not going to be scary. And it is pregnant with promise. There is so much possibility for positive outcomes with something like that. It could be really amazing. So you receive that. Come and see. Requires a response, right? You got to do something in order to actually live out this invitation. It's going to take some intentionality. You have to get up and come. I got one of those this morning for 5:40 p.m. this afternoon. Come and see. 5:40. It also takes some vision, right? To come and see. You're going to have to be able to be present and paying attention and actually understanding what's going on around you. That's the context in which we find our invitation today. In relationship, pregnant with promise, that's going to take some intentionality and some vision. So John the Baptist is the one who shows up, and he believes that Jesus, this guy who's walking past him, is really the Son of God. And he starts telling others all about this. And 2 of his disciples end up hearing this and following Jesus, right? They are going to follow him. They don't know what they're doing. They're just going to go follow him. And in that moment, Jesus turns around and asks them a question. And I love how they answer that. So, what are you looking for? That would be another great sermon, but I chose come and see this time. But what are you looking for? What are you looking for? And I got to imagine they were a little dumbfounded and, well, where are you staying? I don't know. What do we say to this guy? And he's come and see. Come and see. An invitation that totally changes their lives, right? It transforms them. In fact, when they go and tell Peter about this Jesus, it gives him a new name. He gets to be called Cephas, which means Peter or the rock. So it's not totally that transformative for him. But think about that. Think how this little invitation changed their lives. If they had not responded to this invitation, they would not have been at that wedding at Cana where Jesus turned the water into wine. If they had not followed that invitation, then they would not have seen Jesus feed the 5,000 on the hillside. If they had not come and saw, they would not have seen Jesus walking on the water. And in fact, Peter gets to do a little water walking himself because of that. If they had not followed that invitation, they would not have seen him calm the seas. They would not have seen him cure the sick and heal the blind and all of those other things. They would not have seen him transfigured on the mountain in front of them, along with some other folks. They would not have understood this unconditional love that Jesus had for them. If they had not come and saw, they would have not seen Jesus give his life on the cross for them, if they had not come and saw, they would not see the empty tomb, that resurrection moment, and they would not have had fish on the beach with the resurrected Lord before watching him ascend into heaven. If they had not responded to this invitation, think of how different their lives would have been. It all starts with this invitation. Come and see. Come and see. Now, friends, it's not just these disciples who get that invitation, right? I believe that God's at work giving us invitations all the time. Sometimes we don't hear them because they don't come on a nice card like I got for the St. John's Bible, but they come in strange and mysterious ways sometimes, right? I got an invitation to come and see Stellenbosch in Maitland, South Africa. I was working with a company trying to translate our curriculum into Afrikaans with a bunch of theologians from South Africa. And it was just about the time I was looking for an internship at seminary, and they said, come and see. Come to Maitland. We've got a new exchange program. We're starting with Luther Seminary. You could be our first intern at Stellenbosch. Well, I wasn't sure I wanted to do that. My gosh, they're a bunch of Calvinists. I thought, how could I go and be with a bunch of Calvinists for a year? What if they turn me? No. But no, the reality was I was pretty excited. Go live in South Africa for a year? What an awesome experience. Unfortunately, I had 3 children and a wife living in the apartment with me at seminary, and my wife not so excited about uprooting our family one more time, going away for a year, coming back for another year of school, then getting sent off to my first call, right? So we didn't do it. We didn't respond to that call. And my wife will tell you that's the one regret that we have about seminary, is not doing that. I get calls every now and then. In fact, one was in the voice of Tom Fiedler. Called me up and said, hey, you should come and see what we have going on at Trinity. We could use a new lead pastor. It turned out really well. It was an invitation that was relational, right? I wasn't going to be here by myself. I was going to be accompanied by him and the other members of the call committee. I knew that it was pregnant with promise. I knew that there was a whole world of possibilities if I would come and see. So not only do we receive these invitations, sometimes God calls us to make those invitations, that we're the ones who turn to another and say, come and see. It happens every now and then. Sometimes we resist it, though, because we're not trained professionals, right? We may not have the right words, so we think, no, just got to keep my mouth shut here. But it's really an important thing. I've heard a number of you comment to me how you're kind of concerned that that friend or that acquaintance who you always sat with in the pew near you hasn't been around that much lately. With all the transition, they kind of drifted off and you haven't really seen them much. Call them up. Give them an invitation. Come and see. People have been asking, well, you got 2 call committees going on there. How's that going to work? Come and see. I hear you got a new worship and music director there. How's that going to work out for you? Well, come and see, right? The mission of God here at Trinity is alive and well, and people need to know about it. But it sometimes is going to take that personal invitation, an opportunity for you to reach out and know that it is relational. You're going to accompany that person, and it's pregnant with promise. All kinds of good things can happen as you do that. And so, as you consider that this week, think about that. Who do you need to give a ring to and say, hey, come and see? Got great things going on there. But Jesus is inviting us too, right? Jesus is inviting us today to come and see, come and taste the body and the blood. This invitation that we have for all of us to be together in relationship with this one who loves us so much that he gave his life for us.